No matter the platform through which you're listening or the place from which you're logged into that platform, boy, are we happy to have you tuned in to another episode of Behind the G, a podcast for Gainesville Red Elephants by Gainesville Red Elephants. I'm Katie B, co-host Adam Lindsay, athletic director here at Gainesville High School. We're officially kicking off the 2026 football season on this show today.
Yes.
On this show today, we're
About
officially
time.
kicking off GHS's football season. Santavious Bryant, first-year head coach for us, feels like he's been here a lot longer
Crazy, isn't it?
than this being his first year. He's going to join the show. Great, candid conversation about not just their preparation for a kind of big opener coming up on Saturday. Kind of big opener. Not just their preparation for that opener, but what they've been doing since he got here in January. So going to be a great conversation with him, obviously, as we have done with football coaches in the past.
Yes.
The 1 year that we've been doing this show. The 1 year we've been doing this show. He will be on multiple times throughout the season.
Yes.
If Big Red has a game, our Big Bryant's going to be on the show with us.
Big
Bryant.
Bryant. He has no idea.
He has no idea. That's it. I've been thinking.
That's better than Demetrius or Dontavious.
Dontavious. Yes.
That's another story for another day.
Yes, it is. A funny story at
Yes.
that. But we're gonna get a little further in the season before we tell it. So last year we had the vibe check with Coach Niblett, and that was a very Coach Niblett name for that segment, right? The vibe check. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what, and I think Big Bryant might be it. But it needs to be like something.
Yeah.
We gotta flesh that out.
We need some help. So if y'all have some good ideas for what we should call the
What we can call the segment.
the Big Bryant.
Because he's
segment.
if we have a football game, he's gonna be on with us
Yeah,
that week
absolutely.
to let us know what's going on. But great conversation with him coming up. Adam, look, football season kicking off. Whether you are a fan of high school, college, or the pros, or all three, like myself, it is just kind of one of those seminal moments of a year,
Yes.
right? It is what we look forward to. It's Christmas. It is what everyone looks forward to.
Yep.
And, we're getting to do it at the local level, at the high school level, a pretty big way on Saturday.
It's crazy to me because, and we talked to Coach Bryant about this, but like there's so much hype around the game from everywhere. Not here,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because
Same.
that stuff drives me nuts. But it's crazy. I mean, it's on billboards around town.
Yeah.
Everybody in social media is hyping it up. It's the one of the Max Preps game of the week. Which it should be everywhere. It absolutely should be. Get all of this hype. But it's crazy to me what a great job our staff has done, how our kids have handled it. Not making it into something that's overwhelming.
Yeah, and listen, first games of any team's season, first, second, third games of any team's season are growth opportunities.
Yeah.
They're growth opportunities. That's what you schedule for. That's what you play for. Now, hopefully, a result of that growth opportunity is a win, especially now with the PSR and all that kind of. Hopefully, it's a win. But they're growth opportunities. And what I appreciate about how this game is being approached is that it's just another game one of another season.
Yeah.
Yes, it's only the seventh time in school history the two programs have met. Yes, it's the first time since 2013. Yes, we're looking for only our second win over the course of the six previous, but all those things, and yet it's still just being treated as the growth opportunity it is.
And it's funny. It's crazy to me that number one, this will be the seventh time that Gainesville and Buford have played.
20 minutes away.
20 minutes away. And, there's a myriad of reasons for that, all this is, I've only been here 10 years, so I have no idea. But when you think about, we are so close, we have, I'm assuming, not been in the same classification very often.
Never.
Because Buford has gone from being a way smaller school than Gainesville to being a school in the higher classification from Gainesville. How in the world, in any of that time frame, those that
we weren't in the same region.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too. How in the world these two schools were not matched up more in the past is amazing to me. And again, I go back to, I felt like for a long time that we had to play them. We if we want to beat the best, you've got to beat the best. So I'm just amazed over the years that it has not happened. As good as, Gainesville football when I first got here, not great. So I get why we weren't playing them then. But there were prior years, many state championship runs, where I can't believe they weren't on the schedule.
Yeah, so we didn't start playing Buford until Bruce Miller came into play.
Yeah.
Or came into coach, I should say. And it wasn't pretty. Mm-hmm. They just, excuse my French, beat the T-mortal hell out of us every time we played, except for Deshaun Watson's junior year, of course, the lone state championship year for Gainesville football. And that was only a 3-point win, as good as that football team was. And I don't know if when it came to scheduling, our down years were their great years and our great years were their down years. And so you didn't want, you didn't want to schedule each other. I don't have any idea. But, I'm floored looking back at things because, and you'll hear me mention this in talking to Coach Bryant, but 216 years combined, 216 seasons combined, these two programs have. And yet in only 6 of those 216, they've met up to be two of the most tradition-rich programs. Obviously, Buford has this in championships, right?
Yeah.
Most places do. But, two of the most tradition-rich programs, you just would think it'd be more.
Yeah.
But then again, the fact that it hasn't been is just another added element to how special Saturday.
How special it is, too. Yeah. And, when you really start drilling down on it, I mean, these are two programs that I think year in and year out should be playing each other and setting the standard for, and as you mentioned earlier, there's a balance there with, for both teams, this game is about preparing them for the
run.
Region play in the state tournament. But as you also mentioned, the PSR plays into it as well.
Yeah.
So, like you the old mentality is you should want to look at it, I want to get out of this game healthy. I want to learn. But there's also that element. It's going to count for us or against us when it comes to the PSR one way or the other. So you kind of have to balance both of those in the importance of the game. And when the lights go on, it isn't really going to matter. The kids aren't going to be thinking about it. The coaches aren't going to be thinking about that. But us who sit back and analyze things, it's going to be in the back of our mind, no doubt.
It's really interesting. I love that. It's interesting to me, I should say. Some of y'all are probably rolling your eyes and going, "Go, you really need to get a life." But it's interesting to me.
That's probably true too.
That is true too. I do need to get a life. There's never been a rivalry. Yeah. Gainesville and Buford hasn't been a thing in any sport.
It's crazy.
Which is also there's in any sport, because at times both athletic department sports have been incredible. Mm-hmm. Never been a rivalry whatsoever. However, with the youth football league that we're in, we've been in the last 2 years, a rivalry is brewing.
Yes,
because we play Buford.
Yep,
and it's a day of 8U, 9U taking on Buford.
Yep.
And if you were paying attention last Saturday, who were the two guys standing on the sideline watching their 8U, their 9U, their 10U? Coach Bryant and Coach Appling.
Yep.
So I think there's something to be said for, kind of the earnest stages in this thing brewing. And while I know we have a home and home series this year, next year, that Buford is going to be sort of a standard on our schedules, and I hope it filters down to other sports. Correct. A standard on our schedules, if for no other reason, because nobody in the state wants to play either one of us.
Well, and because you bring up last Saturday's games, I just want to take this opportunity to say I think there were 10 games, and we went 8-2.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So feel good about what's going on in our youth program.
100%.
Right now.
And here's when we say all those people are gonna come up and be red elephants. Like those are they're being primed to be red elephants. I used to love those youth football Saturdays. And waking up early, and this was obviously before I was here. I was in radio, and it was late nights. I wouldn't get home till like 1 a.m. Late nights.
Yep. I drove by City Park at 9:30, and that's when the 8th grade team was playing.
Holy cow. But I used to love waking up on Saturday mornings. This was, my nephew Baxter Wright, former quarterback here at Gainesville High School. This was before he was even playing in it. Waking up on Saturday mornings, you'd hear Walt Snelling because he was there calling those games too. And because of, how wind moves voices that are being spoken out into the open, I lived right by the stadium, and you could just hear him. And there's again, there's something about when football season kicks off and all those things. Yeah, it's just absolutely wonderful. So we're looking forward to this one on Saturday, Philip Beard Stadium, 5:03, the official kickoff time. It will be on ESPN, but we want red elephant butts in the seats wearing white. It is a whiteout. Doors will open at 3:30.
3:30.
Gates will open at 3:30. There's not a lot of parking over there, so get there as early as you possibly can. Carpool, people. We all know each other and love each other. Get in the same car with one another. And let's get over $8 to get you in the door.
On GoFan.
On GoFan only. So don't be throwing cash around at nobody, like we had a patron do here at Gainesville the other day at a middle school softball game.
Let's talk about county people.
Especially the ones from the east of the county. But anyway, we digress. It's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. Come be a part of it. I will say there are some restaurants who are doing watch parties here in town. They are worth mentioning. Johnny's Pizza will be having a watch party. They are a great friend and sponsor of our entire athletics program, not just football, but they'll be having a watch party. El Tapache on Thompson Bridge Road is going to be having a watch party as well. So if you just simply can't go,
which I don't understand,
we don't understand.
If you can go to a restaurant to watch it,
you can go to
show
Buford.
up. So,
but there's some other options for you. But wear your white, get to Philip Beard Stadium. It's going to be quite an atmosphere. Before we get to Coach Bryant, though, I do want to mention this past Saturday, our cross country team started the season off pretty strong. Other than Isabel Lee, we know none of the names because they're so young.
Yep.
Is a freshman-laden girls and boys team. But Isabel Lee finished second overall in the Northeast Georgia Championships. Our boys team finished fourth overall. No, our boys team finished second overall. Our girls team finished fourth overall. And again, a lot of freshmen. So kudos to John Richard Corbett.
And I want all of our listeners to know that we did bring in Isabella Lee. We did chastise her for finishing second, making sure that she understands that what the expectations are. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Listen, as long as she keeps running for us, keep bringing in those second place finishes, kid.
Yep.
No, she is an absolute. And we talked to her and about her a lot last year. She's an absolute stud for us, not just in cross country, not just running distance in track and field, but also on the pitch, as her father, Morgan Lee, loves very, very much. So, kudos to our cross-country team for their hot start. We hadn't had a lot of action this week. There hadn't been a lot of play happening. We're recording this on Thursday. We have a softball game tonight. Volleyball went on the road to Alpharetta, and while they competed well, they did not fare well, if that makes sense. Alpharetta, one of the nation's top teams, so it's sort of to be expected that was going to be an experience for our girls. But that's kind of, it's been sort of a slow week, which is okay because Saturday not going to be so slow.
It's welcome, and we're just looking at the schedule for next week, and next week is not going to be slow.
No,
so we'll get back into it, and plenty of events for Red Elephant Nation to come out and enjoy Sud being Red Elephant.
Yeah, I don't understand a word you just said. You slurred your way through that whole thing.
I don't know what's going on today.
It's so hot in your office right now where we're recording this. I think that's like your tongue's melting. That's exactly what happened. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with the one, the only, because that's how we always introduce our head football coach, Santavious Bryant.
Winning on and off the field takes a solid game plan, and JT Stratford Wealth Management is here to help you plan with confidence. Proudly serving Gainesville for 30 years, JT Stratford combines customized financial and tax planning with 3 decades of commitment to our community to help individuals and families pursue their goals with confidence. Build your financial playbook with a team that's invested in your future and in the community we proudly call home. Visit jtstratford.com to learn more.
Located at 311 Green Street in downtown Gainesville, JT Stratford is a proud sponsor of the Red Elephants and Behind the G. JT Stratford LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. This advertisement is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as personalized investment, tax, or legal advice. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. For just the 7th time in the two programs' combined 216 seasons, Big Red and Buford football are going to face off, this time as openers to each team's 2026 season. It's happening Saturday. It's happening at Philip Beard Stadium in beautiful Buford. It's happening at 5:03. Exact kickoff time. It's happening on ESPN2. Joining us to review his first summer as our head coach and preview the game and season, the man of the hour, the man of the week, the man since he said yes to the job offering from one Adam Lindsay in January of last year, Santavious Bryant. Coach Bryant, what's up, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
Listen, we're just excited that football season is starting in earnest. You go into a scrimmage and you're kind of excited to see those first highlights, but week one, this week at Buford, you can't get much more exciting than that. Maybe that spotlight is a little daunting too. We'll get into that coming up. But how do you feel like preparation has gone since y'all started in literally January?
Yeah, it's been great. I tell anybody I like to brag about the kids. The job that they've done since January of taking everything and running with it, buying into it, and not giving much pushback, and always just striving to be better. So again, I'm super proud of our kids and the work that they've put in. And again, I think this is a perfect stage for them to be able to go out and show it.
Talk to us a little bit, because we haven't talked to you in a while, really since spring practice. So talk to us about like what the summer looked like, what you saw out of the kids, what you really liked, what you saw like, hey, we're going to need to address this, to get us ready for the season. Just really catch us up on the summer.
Yeah, so summer was good. It was a little different for our guys. But again, the summer was the first time we were all kind of together. We had staff coming from different places all over the spring and off season. So summer was that first time where everybody was in the building at the same time. Everybody was, hey, he is here full time. We're all rolling, all getting to build those relationships both on and off the field. So we started there this summer. Again, the first phase of the summer, we just kind of focused on us. Didn't go do any competition with anybody like that. Just wanted to kind of put our kids through about 2.5 weeks of just us. Like, let's redefine our standard. Let's redefine how we're going to do things. Let's get our kids in a routine of how we do it. Let's get them being able to know everybody that's going to be in the building, interact with everybody, and just focus on us for about 2 weeks. Then we went out to the University of Georgia, played 7-on-7 there, had a really good showing, won that tournament, which was a really good test for our kids, because again, to win that tournament, you got to go play 10 plus games in order to be able to win it. And again, 7-on-7 to a lot of people doesn't. People think it's just T-shirt and shorts, but at the same time, if you go look at those player loads versus a 7-on-7 game and a real game, again, that stuff is off the charts.
At the end of the day, they're still competing.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the big things about y'all's performance at 7-on-7 is in pool play, you lost some games. But when it came down to it in tournament play, they turned it on and competed like what you wanted them to do.
Well, yeah, it was good because, again, in pool play, we lost to McEachern on the last play of the game. Again, literally, we tip a ball, they tip it up, we tip it back up again, and then one of their kids that sit on the ground end up catching the ball for a first down for them to win the game. So again, we took a loss there in pool play, but then we also got to see them again once we got back to in the playoff part of it. And again, our kids were able to go back out and now go win that game. And it came down to another clutch moment at the end of the game to be able to win it. And this time we made the play that we needed to make to be able to win that game. So that was huge, just watching our kids. That was the first time they got to face adversity as a team together. That was the first time they got to go compete or see anybody, because we didn't see anybody else in spring ball as well. It was just us. So for us as a staff, that was a good time for us to also, that was our first competition and our first time of truly all being together and see how we do things in competition, see how we react during competition, and all of those types of things. So again, that day was really good for us. And then also to see do our kids have the longevity? Do we have the mental capacity to be able to go through a long day fight? And then now it's the championship game, and the game's on the line, and your body's telling you no, but at the end of the day, we can go win a trophy. So again, we were able to do that. So super proud of those guys for that. And then we came back off of that, and then had paddock camp here. We hosted a paddock camp, and again had some great competition there.
Yeah, there was some great teams there that day.
Yeah, and it was the same type of deal of, hey, we're going to go out, and this is the first time that we get to see somebody else as a full team and actually spot the ball and play football. And again, we left paddock camp with obviously some things to fix, but we also left paddock camp knowing that, hey, we could be a really good football team this year if we clean up a couple of things. So, and again, we've worked, since then to be able to go do that, and our kids have done a tremendous job with it. And it was a great summer, great off season for us, and ready for the season.
Yeah, and I want to get to that ready for the season part, because I think there comes a time in preparation for both those preparing and those being prepared, where you go, man, screw this. Like, we are done with this crap.
Yeah.
Let's go hit somebody.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
About 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So then you go into, you go into your scrimmage at Harrison.
Yep.
they're able to hit somebody and work out some of those kinks in real time. And then you come to this week of actual preparation for an actual game. So take us from end of Harrison, post watching of the game film, into this week of prep. What has the focus been? And are the guys still in that, God, we're sick of this mode, or are they dialed in for what's to come?
Yeah, I would say they're dialed in. Again, we've just kind of talked about since the ending of Harrison is, again, same deal there. There was a bunch of good things that we did, but also some things that we need to fix. But at the same time, you start looking at, hey, that is the first time that a lot of our kids have, again, gone out and had some other type of competition and gone and, had some things that they hadn't seen before. So, again, it also allows us to be able to learn and grow a little bit there. Again, same deal. That's the first time of a staff being in a real game together. Now you got box communication, sideline communication, and just a lot of different things that we had to go in. Again, you can't prepare for those things because, again, they just come up in the flow of a game. And, again, you can't replicate that all the time. You can as much as you think you can.
Yeah.
There's going to be something that comes up that you have no control over that you're going to have to kind of roll with the punches and go with. So the scrimmage was good for that. So, again, not only for the kids, but us as a staff, we were able to go back and reflect on, hey, here's how we can be better. Here are things that we can do. Here are some of the things that we needed to get worked out on our end to make sure our kids are in the best situations possible. So from there, again, kind of put Harrison to bed, watched it, talked about it, and then, hey, now let's flip the script, and again, let's go and let's, start this journey. So since that day, our kids have come in. Monday, we had a walkthrough because of the extended week with us playing on Saturday, and then kind of had 2 work days the past 2 days and kind of came back this morning, also had another walkthrough. So, again, I would say that our kids are dialed in and they're focused. The biggest thing is, I think, like I said, we talked about to our kids is this stage can change your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both positively and negatively.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So our kids that maybe you feel you lack exposure, or you feel that maybe I'm not going to the school I want to go to, where here's an opportunity to go do it on ESPN in front of the country. You get what I'm saying? There's going to be a bunch of college coaches watching this game. Hey, go change your life. All right. But also our kids that are committed to different schools or that are in places of highly being recruited. Well, hey, your coach is going to be watching. You have not signed on the dotted line, so this is still going to be an evaluation period for you. You know what I'm saying? So now can you go and, like you say, change your life?
Yeah, and I love that piece of it. I want to get into that a little bit more. I love that piece of it, the evaluation piece, because you're absolutely right. Adabo Sweeney, our quarterback, Kareem Hughley, committed to Clemson, will be watching this game. And might say, you know what, that Buford guy looks a little better. Or, So it is a proving ground. At that same time, you don't want to press.
Right.
And what I've loved about the lead up to Saturday, and again, folks, please understand, 216 combined seasons between Buford and Gainesville. We've played football for 132. They've played football for 82. The calculator said I did the math right, and that dials into 216. 216 combined seasons. This is just the 7th time our two programs have played. We're 1-5 against Buford. Not a great record. Hoping to make it 2-5 come Saturday, but we're 1-5 against Buford.
Yes.
The only game we won by 3 points. Every other game they won by a lot more than 3 points against us. So this is a big game for a lot of reasons, but that thing you just mentioned, Coach, the exposure piece, and how even if you are committed, even if you think you have everything, you've got all your ducks in a row, those ducks can be taken away just as easily as they were handed to you.
Absolutely.
Saturday is sort of a proving ground in many, many ways for our guys.
Yeah.
At the same time, there has been so little hype coming from us. And there's something about that I love. There has been so little buildup. Even though you're talking to your guys about it being an evaluation program, you're not seeing that in really a public forum.
No.
And there's something about that piece that I think makes us a little scary going into Saturday.
Yeah, I just think when everybody knows it's a big game. Everybody, we don't have to tell our kids that, and we don't have to go and, post a bunch and do a bunch of stuff like that. But for me, it's more so of not putting, added stress on our kids.
Yeah.
And not making this moment bigger than what it needs to be. Again, everybody knows what's at stake. Everybody knows how it can, affect you. But at the same time, I don't need the person down the street talking to our guys about, hey, I saw this today, I saw that today, and then now our kids are all psyched out about something that doesn't even matter. So, the thing for us is just, like I said, keep it in these walls right here, and now let's go handle business. But at the same time, don't put too much pressure on our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could figure out how to keep the person up the street from coming up here,
that's not going to happen. That's never going to happen.
Put that on the list. So you've talked a little bit about new staff, gelling, going into your first game, as you mentioned, is a huge part that almost sometimes more than what the kids do is getting your staff all on the same page, and that's your first opportunity. So what is it that you've learned about this staff so far that's going to help y'all go into the season in the right way? What were some lessons that y'all learned on Friday night that are going to help y'all be ready?
Yeah, I would say the first thing with our staff, man, is like the thing that I enjoy most is that it's not just about ball with our staff. We can sit around, we can talk, we can have a good time, and just not always be so uptight, not always just, hey, everything's got to be business, business, business. There is a time we could just sit back and be people and kind of take that coach hat off a little bit. So I'm proud of what our staff is gelled. And again, I think that's what's going to help us in these big time moments. Absolutely. To where, we got good staff camaraderie and everybody knows, hey, there are going to be heated moments. There's going to be high, stress situations. But we also know, hey, here is how I get him going, or here's how I need to talk to him in order for him to be able to respond. Here's how I get the best answer. So, again, a lot of those things off the field are now carrying over to on the field, and that's going to allow us to be able to have success. And again, in the Harrison deal, we didn't have many hiccups as a staff, right? But it's just little small things of, hey, when you write this down, can you write it with this first and not that first? So when I read it, I'm able to, it just flows in my mind. Here's how it clicks to me. Okay, well, we're both saying the same thing, but hey, in your mind, it may be right over left. Well, in my mind, it's left over right. Hey, this is how I need you to write it so I understand it, so we're on the same page. Or, hey, this was too much information. You did a great job and you knew exactly what you were talking about, but I don't need that much. I just need this part of it. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, very, very important.
I love that.
Very
that would be me.
Question.
Could you dumb that down for me, please?
Very important question, and I can't believe I haven't asked you this yet, and I think I know the answer. When you're drawing on the board, who goes on top and who goes on bottom? Offense or defense?
So I go either way. It depends on who I'm drawing for.
Okay.
So if we're in a defensive room, then the O is up top. If we're in the offensive room, the O is down bottom.
It's a distinct thing. Offensive guys will draw them on the bottom. Defensive guys will draw on the bottom, and that makes sense.
For me, I can go either way. It does not affect me either way. But yes, I flip my drawing depending upon who I'm talking to. I never think, for some reason, I don't think about it. But it just naturally, hey, if I'm talking to an offensive guy, I'm going to draw the offense.
So those of you that don't know, when you walk in a football staff room and you see all these plays or defenses being drawn, you can tell who drew it by who's on the bottom.
Yeah, somebody will tell you, hey, coach, you're drawing upside down.
Yeah, I'm the first one to say that. I remember coaching, and I'd walk in on a defensive staff meeting or a defensive coach saying, hey, I can't look at that. It's upside down. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I love part of the reason I love us doing this show is that conversation y'all just had, the inner workings of what it is we do here. So speaking of inner workings, what are the conversations like with your team this week? You've mentioned, hey, it's time to go out there and allow your light to shine a little brighter.
Yeah.
What are the other conversations that you're having? Listen, Buford, I mean, and everybody out there listening to Behind the G right now knows, coming off a national championship, coming off another state championship, Bryant Appling is one of the greatest coaches to ever exist in this state.
Yep.
And they've been rolling for decades. Yep. Sometimes you can get beat by a uniform. I think a lot of people feel that way when they're playing us.
100%.
And so in line with that, what are the conversations like with your team?
Again, like I said, we've had those conversations of, hey, here is how this situation allows you to have success. Here's what success looks like for you as an individual, one. And then also that individual success will now bring success to our team. And then also just the fact of, like you're saying, I think it was great for our kids to get out and go and watch them play when they played their scrimmage versus Baylor. Yeah. A lot of our kids were able to go, and it's like, hey, okay, so they're not X-Men.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? like, hey, okay, these are normal people out here.
Yeah.
So I think that was huge for our kids. But then also, like I say, just we really haven't put a bunch of stress on them personnel-wise of, hey, here's this guy, here's this guy, here's this guy. It's more so been about us and how we need to here's what we need to do for us to have success.
Right.
All right, here's who you're going to be doing it against. Versus blowing up, hey, well, this guy's this and this guy, like, no, because at the same time, I think if you look at our roster, we have those guys too.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then it's also the fact of, like I say, don't put too much on this game.
Yeah.
Like, don't add unnecessary, like at 5:00 on Saturday, your heart's going to probably be beating out of your chest. You know what I'm saying?
For all of us.
For all of us, yeah.
Like, don't add more to it than it needs to be. So we focus more so on let's prepare in a manner that we need to prepare. So when you do get out there, yes, you're going to have the nerves, you're going to have all of that. But now the mental side of things, your mind and racing all over the place. We've handled the mental aspect of things. Now you can just go out there and play and you could be a little bit more free.
You know, Adam, something that has been brought to mind listening to Coach Bryant talk just now, and listen to sort of the both dialed in and calm nature, and with the way he's talking about this game, and I'm talking about you while you're sitting here. It's not awkward, believe me. Is this like Gainesville football outside of state championships hasn't played in a game this big, yet most of the coaches that are coaching our young men have coached in lots of games this big. And now you look across our coaching staff. In every position, we've got coaches. And it allows for, what am I trying? If I were the head coach of Gainesville football right now, I would be freaking out. And that would trickle down to the players.
Yeah.
Because I've never played in a game on ESPN. Right?
Yeah.
You just came out of a near 2-hour interview with ESPN people who were coming here tomorrow to film our kids and do stuff like that. And you're just like, this is a normal business day.
Well, but I think that goes back to it. I think the kids are going to feed off of the calmness of our staff. You know, whether that's in football or basketball or baseball, whatever it is, our coaches that have been there and done that have a calmness about them it'll trickle down to the kids, which will help them play at the level they need to play.
Like I'm listening to you talk, man, and I'm just like, hey, we're just gonna show up and do our thing on Saturday.
I tell our kids all the time, you don't panic until you see me panic. I'm probably not gonna panic, so we'll be fine.
I love that. Yeah. So, but take us back to the first time you were a head coach in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Were you as you are now, or did that freak out come in a little bit? Like, did you have to learn to be calm like this as a coach?
I'll tell you this. My first ESPN game, we were on the road, and our bus broke down on the side of the highway. So, yeah, I mean, it was, we were playing on ESPN. The bus broke down on the side of the highway. We finally got to the stadium maybe 30 minutes before we had.
Oh, wow.
Like, hey, like it was are they still showing up type of deal.
Well, and the difficult part for y'all in that situation is that ESPN is not moving their start time.
They're not moving the start time.
If it was a regular game, they'd be like, hey, we'll give you an extra 20
Yep.
minutes.
No.
ESPN is like, no, we're kicking off at 5:03, whether y'all are ready or not.
Yeah. So we literally got off the bus, ran in there, put our stuff down, and ran to the field and started warming up with half the team, and then we had to get the rest of the team off the broken down bus.
You know, though, and again, limited experience here. I'm speaking from limited experience, not as a coach, not as an athlete. Athlete, a lot of experience with this crap. This stuff. It's not crap. Didn't mean to be dismissive. There were times where when you just had to get off the bus and go play, you played better. Takes all the thought out of it.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish that for all of our teams in every game, we could just get off the bus and start playing. Like, I understand that's probably not good from a stretching standpoint, like a loosening up of the body. But,
well, it's funny how many people have come to me and said, like, hey, are we just going to warm up at home and then just show up and get off the bus and play? And I was like, no. Like, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
When I was first started coaching, my first job was at Campbell. Osborne is literally less than a mile up the street.
Yeah, throw a rock.
And we talked about doing that all the time, but no, it's not a good deal anyway, because you want your kids to be able to settle down there.
Sure,
especially in a venue like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I've always argued about, like playing at Mercedes-Benz. You don't get enough time on the field for your kids to be able to really acclimate. So it's very important to get there and get all that in that you can. So when it comes time to play, it's about play.
We're not going to keep you much longer, Coach, because you got busy stuff to do. More interviews with ESPN to come. It's behind the G crap. What are we doing to him? But anyway, Philip Beard Stadium, as Adam just mentioned, a vast venue, a beautiful venue, huge jumbotron, just like we have at Bobby Gruen Field, by the way. But one of those atmospheres that can freak you out a little bit as an athlete, I think, which is why I love that you said a lot of the guys went to the scrimmage.
Yes.
What went into the decision to get them there? Because those things can go one of two ways. It can freak you out or it can relax you. You know what I mean?
Look, I'd rather them be freaked out
Then
3 weeks before
Yeah.
the day of. I think that was good for them just to kind of, like I say, get familiar with the venue, see it, because sometimes there is a big a learning experience with that of, hey, I get caught looking at the jumbotron,
right?
And then now the ball snapped, and or I just psych myself out a little bit too much. So again, them being able to go and see it for that first time and be able to walk around and kind of get familiar with the stadium, hey, hear how the crowd's gonna be in the stadium, all of that. Even though I think it'll be a little bit louder this week, but it allowed them to just kind of, this isn't the first time that they've stepped foot in that stadium when we get off the bus.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing for us is going to be, hey, can we get them off the bus? And then I think it's kind of a fine line of being there too long.
Right.
To where, hey, now you start to, hey, up there in the left corner, there's this. I didn't know. Did y'all see that? Like, you know what I mean? You start identifying too much with the stadium and start getting kind of lost in the lights. But at the same time, also not enough time to where, hey, like you say, you just got to go right out there on the grass.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to find that happy medium.
I have two more questions before we get out of here. But the first one is whenever you have spent your time that word for Buford.
You're looking for ing, preparing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What is it that stood out about them that said, like, we got to make sure we take care of this? And I'm not asking you to give your game plan away.
I'll say this about Buford. Like, they've won for a long time, but they've won the same way for a long time. They've had their staff there since the beginning of the beginning of time, and they've played the same style of ball for a very long time. So I can think when you look at them, I mean, they're going, let's say offense, they're going to run the ball, they're going to do what they do. Special teams is going to be well coached. Defense, they're going to stop the run, and they take pride and hang their hat on that, and they let you screw the game up. So again, just talking with our kids about that. Again, this is the second time I've been able to coach against them. So hey, when you go back and look at it, you're like, hey, a little bit of this, a lot of this stuff is still the same, So we do feel good in that regard of, hey, here's how they've done it. Here's what it is for a long time. Now the hard part is, hey, can you go out there and execute and be able to, stop that, right? So that's what like I said, that's kind of what I see when I see them.
So, and my second question is, tell us some of the players that Gainesville fans don't know about yet, that they're going to know. Either they're going to find out about them on Saturday, or they're going to stand out throughout the season, that we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about. It's not Kareem. No offense to Kareem. Everybody
we love you, Kareem, so much.
Everybody knows about Kareem. So, but like, and Darren Williams, incredible season last year.
Right.
By God, we're hoping he replicates it this year.
Please do.
But yeah, absolutely. but who is somebody that our Gainesville faithful don't know about yet? But by God, by the end of the season, they're going to know their name.
Yeah, I say like a guy like a Jordan Brown, man. He's been someone that's been working all off season. That's done a tremendous job. You saw the scrimmage last week. I mean, he had about 3 or 4 carries, 1 for a touchdown.
Yep.
That was really good. Another guy up front that I love to death, Connor Vandiver, does a tremendous job. And again, he's not the same stature of the other linemen that are the 6'5", but like if you look at it up front, he makes us go. Again, that whole D line group. That's been a group that's waited their turn and that, hey, kind of gotten overshadowed by guys in the past, and now it's their time to play. They've grown up a bunch this offseason from day one of, me walking into the job where they was scratching my head like, hey, we got a lot of growing up.
What are we going to do?
You know what I mean? To where they are now, just from a maturity standpoint, how do they handle their business, how they go attack the weight room, those things. And again, they did a very good job. In the scrimmage, and then same thing. A lot of young linebackers that are doing a good job. Chance Davis, Tim Cole, Jason Johnson, a lot of those guys that are the same deal. Hey,
they've grown up.
Yeah, just young kids, and now bodies have changed. They look different, and they're still a sophomore, right? But they don't look like sophomores. So that's been huge. And then the same deal in the secondary. A lot of guys that are going to be stepping up and taking on new roles. So again, there's a bunch of guys that I think will have a pretty good breakout deal. We're going to play a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something that looks different. Is you're probably going to see substitutions about
Absolutely,
every 2 plays or so, and guys just running on and off the field. So again, there's a bunch of kids that I'm excited about. And I'm sure I didn't name by name somebody.
Yeah, well,
trust me, if I didn't name you, trust me,
you'll have plenty of opportunities this season.
Don't find me.
Plenty.
Don't find me. You know what I mean?
But that is one of the things I appreciate how you run things is. A lot of kids are going to play. A lot of kids are going to get opportunities, and so that's better for us. We're going to be ready to go in the fourth quarter because we've rolled enough kids.
Yeah. And I think that's something that's big about this game is when you talk about from a program standpoint, this game is going to allow us to be able to grow up so many kids week one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There are going to be so many kids that can go out there in week one as a sophomore, or even as an upperclassman that hadn't gotten to play. But, hey, this will probably be one of the biggest stages you play on for some kids in their entire career.
Exactly. Yep.
And it was a small thing. We huddled up at the end of practice on Monday, and we asked, hey, who's played on ESPN before? Again, like you said, the only people that were able to raise their hand were the coaches.
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, all the coaches raised their hand. But, again, that's going to be something that I'm, going to be proud of is that, hey, after Saturday, every one of our kids will be able to raise their hand and say, hey, I've played on ESPN before.
Yeah.
And now I know what that feels like.
Every single one of those kids' parents are recording the game, and they'll have it recorded for the rest of their life.
Oh, yeah, it'll be TV shots.
Even the kids that never make it on the field. That's me right there.
Yeah, TV shots.
I'm Red Elephant for life. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm recording the game. It's
Make
going
sure
to be
get some camera time.
Trust me, I will. I don't know. I react a lot. I'm a reactor to stuff. So I tend to. I like to be in the end zones we're scoring in, things like that.
I'm sure
not actually in them. That'd be illegal, but
I'm sure they'll get you on there.
They'll get me. That is, it's gonna be a great night. If for no other reason than Big Red's back to playing football. Philip Beard Stadium again in Buford. 5:03 kickoff. ESPN2, where the game is going to be housed. I'm right about that, right? ESPN2.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool.
It's on the ESPN network.
It's on the ESPN network. I believe it's ESPN2 proper, but regardless, on ESPN.
And remember now, we want all our Big Red family at the game.
At the game.
Not watching on ESPN.
100%.
Recorded on ESPN.
Correct.
But make sure you're in the building now. We need you.
Go home and watch it afterwards.
I'm so glad he said that because the last thing was going to be, what is your message to the Gainesville faithful? So be thinking of something else you want to tell them. Get your butts in the seats at Philip Beard. Tickets are $8 at GoFan. You can buy them right now. Get there early so you get parking and you don't have to walk from Gainesville to Philip Beard Stadium, but be there and wear your white. Make sure you go to R&E Sports, get your white tops, get that fit right for Gainesville versus Buford. It's a whiteout. Big Red's going to be stomping up and down the field. Can't wait to see it.
It will be the cheapest tickets you buy all year.
It will be, yeah.
The doors open at 3:30. I've had some people wanting to know if they could get in at 1 to make sure they got a seat. I spoke to Tony over there. He said, no, we're not opening the doors till 3:30. But get there early because they have a security system.
Yeah.
They said it takes you a while to get in the door. So get there.
Yes.
We know Red Elephant Nation likes to make home games everywhere we go. This doesn't need to be any exception.
Absolutely. And the bigger the game, the better our guys show up. Yep. The bigger the game, the better our people show up. Don't make Buford the exception. So, Coach, as we wrap up our first time with you this football season, what is it you want to tell the Gainesville fans to get them ready for Saturday?
Hey, it's just going to be a lot of fun. Turn into a home game. We need you guys loud as you can possibly be. Again, I would love to, like I said, make Philip Beard Stadium our home stadium that day and make it feel like a home game for our kids. Let's just come have fun together.
I love it. One last thing. You have on a green whistle. Do you have is there like a color scheme or is that just coincidence?
No. So what I do is I have about 10 whistles that I leave in different places. So
that's the one I got. You.
So this was a gift from some company. They sent me a bunch of whistles. So
that's just the one you
picked
up.
The player data.
There we go.
So it's a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
So I just leave them around, and then
I didn't know if you had like a color scheme going for the week of prep for Buford. It's green. The week of prep
we can turn it into something.
We might have to do that.
I just literally
It's what you picked up. Yeah. I dig it. All right, Coach Bryant. We can't wait to see what happens on Saturday. We can't wait to watch our boys play. Can't wait to watch our boys coach. Absolutely. And as always, we appreciate you being on Behind the G.
Thank you. Go Big Red.
The green whistle really threw me off. The green whistle threw me off. I thought, again, he seems like the kind of coach and
would be using that
would be
mental
using
thing.
that right.
Yeah.
And hear us when we say you have no other option but to hear us right now as we say this. That you're watching our relationships build in real time, or you're listening to them. You'll be watching them soon. Teaser there. You'll be watching them soon. But you're hearing our relationships build in real time. As we mentioned last year, we had relationships with Coach Niblett, and so you just saw the byproduct of that, right? This is us getting to know our new coach at a different level. We know what he can do on the field. I can read a stat sheet as well as anybody else. But getting to know him on a new level, a very public level. And I got to tell you, great guy to be around, great coach to have, and the even keel with which he is treating, arguably, the third biggest game Gainesville's ever played in.
Yeah.
Not really, because I know we've played in a lot of state championships, but y'all know what I'm saying. At least over the last decade, the third biggest game.
Well, certainly with all the hype that this matchup gets, because it is on a national. They are ranked number one in the country. I don't know if we've ever played number one in the country before. We are nationally ranked. So I mean, it's getting a lot of attention, and he's handling it great. I mean, he's always calm. He's always calm with a smile, and imagine that's how he'll be on Friday night. That's how he was after is unhappy as he was with the things that we could have done last Friday against Harrison. He was still calm and had a smile on his face. So that will bode well for our athletes, because that's how they should end up coming out as well.
Yeah. He got on to me this morning for not smiling. When I first made eye contact with him, he was like, "KDB, you got to smile before 9 a.m. every day. You'll live longer."
Well, I'm gonna start asking him to come down every day.
You know what? We're ending the show with that right there. No, I'm just kidding. I smile.
You do.
When I leave, I smile heartily. Then I'm just kidding. But I have always been impressed with him.
Yes.
When he first got here in 2022, the energy he immediately brought.
Yes.
That energy hasn't waned.
No.
However, it is redirected. And obviously it has to be in a bigger format, but also redirected towards what is better for the whole.
Yeah.
You want to be hyped up on defense. You don't necessarily want your offense hyped up.
Yeah.
And so, he just is, y'all heard it. He's an impressive guy to be around. He's impressive to watch coach. And we hope that he coaches us to an impressive ending on Saturday.
Let's go Big Red.
Let's go Big Red, always. Again, folks, 5:03 kickoff time. Be there at Philip Beard Stadium to watch Big Red and Buford go at it on the gridiron for only the seventh time. He was listening. Finally, I got him to listen. We appreciate you being with us here on Behind the G. If you have not done it yet, follow us on social media at Go Red Elephants across all platforms. That's X, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, and that is TikTok. We are also online. GoRedElephants.com. You want to see faces for the names you're going to be hearing on Saturday night, but also with volleyball and softball and all that. We've got pictures, we've got rosters, we've got photo galleries, all kinds of stuff on our website, GoRedElephants.com. And every Friday morning, whether you're listening on Amazon, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, whether you're listening on Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, every Friday morning, Behind the G will be waiting there for you to tune your ears into us, your elephant ears, as it were. Is that condescending, your floppy elephant ears?
I think if you throw the floppy, although 100% flop on there.
I mean, I'm just, we flop all the time, mainly because I'm one of the hosts here. We appreciate you being with us, folks. This has been Behind the G.